I'm Tim, also known as Longnaps. Cube design is my passion, and today I'm going to pitch to you a cube format in less than 5 minutes. This is the elevator pitch. Do you love to play limited? Do you mostly play with one other person? Is Commander one of your favorite formats? Do you have little time to play Magic and can't always get a draft going? If you said to one or more of these points, I might just have the perfect format for you. 1v1 Jumpstart EDH is exactly what it sounds like. It's Commander, and Limited, and Cube, and Jumpstart, and Brawl, and you can play it with only one other person. Seriously though, it's EDH with just one other person, without the decks feeling out of place or dysfunctional. With these Jumpstart boosters, you can build your own Commander deck on the fly and experiment with new commanders. You get to see 15 legendaries topping off each booster and choose 3 out of them to synergize into a unique Commander deck. The best thing is, if your Commander doesn't work out great, you can just switch it out for another legendary in your deck. If the deck doesn't work out either, you can choose another 3 out of 15 boosters in a couple of minutes and start playing a whole new deck. Let me show you an example of the deck draft over on Cube Cobra. Alright, here we are. I'm just gonna maneuver over to playtest here. And I have 2 different draft options. One is for 1 through 4 players and the other is for 5 to 8 players. I usually recommend drafting with fewer people, so you have a greater selection of boosters to choose from. And let's just hop right in and start the draft. So here you have the 15 cards. Actually, those each represent a booster, so in reality it would be 15 boosters. Right from the get-go, I can see a few things coming together. I can see some artifact commanders like Osgir that is interested in having artifacts in the graveyard. There's also Teshar. If you cast artifact spells, you can reanimate small creatures. There's also Feldon, which can create artifact tokens. Another strategy I'm seeing is Blink, with cards like Brago that can flicker any number of non-land permanents when he connects with your opponent, which goes well with Birthing Pot type of effects, where Vannifar can seek up creatures that do something when they enter or leave the battlefield. And he can also flicker Jeru, who has a Planeswalker theme. Jeru is actually an Orzhov booster, where it partners with Tevesh Zad or Obnixilis. A third strategy I can see come together would be a graveyard strategy with something like Muldrotha that can play one of each permanent type from your graveyard each turn. It would go well with Ziatra, who wants to sacrifice a creature at the beginning of your end step. Then you have a sacrifice theme, you have a theme of getting them back. Feldon also can get back creatures that end up in your graveyard. Or you could go with something like Osgir, who can sacrifice artifacts and can even get back 2 copies of an artifact when you exile it with him. So you have a couple options here. I know what you're thinking. How long is this elevator ride? I mean, what does this format's gameplay feel like? Well, I love regular friendly EDH, where every player can get their deck going without having to stranglehold anyone else at the table to do so. In that fashion, while I did make sure to give every booster the same amount of targeted removal, I made sure the interaction isn't suffocating anyone else out of the game. More of this, less of that. So what's different about EDH decks when you play them in 1v1? Well, the obvious would be multiplayer and political cards that just don't work. Not gonna miss you. So really, it's more about outplaying your opponent with targeted removal and getting 2-for-1s. Ultimately though, it's still about realizing your game plan, just like you would in regular EDH. So I know what you're thinking. 1,000 cards seem like an overwhelming commitment. Let's not even get into the price. Don't worry, I got you covered. I've selected 30 boosters to get you started playing 1v1. 15 for you and 15 for the other player. And this way you'll only need to assemble under 500 cards. Still, the price is quite hefty, but frankly, are you really gonna spend $5,000 just to try it out? No, you have a copier at home or a copy shop close by. I mean, you can still buy them later if you're hooked on the format. So, if you find that this cube is for you, there are still 30 more boosters you can assemble afterwards. Hell, you can even use my booster template to create your own Jumpstart boosters from your personal commanders. Check out the link in the description and maybe do a quick deck draft to see what kind of booster combinations interest you. You can also find a lot more information on the cube in the overview section on CubeCobra. For example, I have some optional rules you can use to make the games even more fun, and added the partner ability to a lot of the weaker commanders, so you can mix and match them for unique deck strategies. Thanks for watching! This is the first of hopefully many videos in which I will be showcasing my cubes and discussing cube design. You can get in touch with me via Twitter at @long_naps or on Reddit at u/long-naps. If you enjoyed the video, please consider leaving a like and subscribing. See you next time.